And today's Reddit story. Fiancée invited her family to move into my house while I was away on a work trip. I came home to strangers in my kitchen. She smiled. "Babe, isn't it fun? Now we can all live together." I grabbed a suitcase and said, "Enjoy your new house. I'm moving out." I was exhausted when I pulled into my driveway. A 5-hour flight, 2 layovers, and a full week of meetings had left me drained. I wasn't expecting much when I walked into my house. Just a hot shower, a cold beer, and maybe some quiet time with my fiancée, Amanda. Instead, I walked into a goddamn circus. I knew something was wrong the second I stepped inside. The house smelled like burnt food and cheap air freshener. There were shoes everywhere. Shoes I didn't recognize. And then, I heard laughter from the kitchen. I dropped my suitcase and walked in, only to find 6 people sitting at my dining table, eating my food, laughing like they owned the place. Amanda was at the stove, flipping pancakes. My stove, using my cookware. She turned around and grinned like this was totally normal. "Babe, you're home early." Before I could even process what was happening, her mom, dad, brother, and 2 cousins turned to look at me, like I was the guest. Her mom, "Oh, you must be tired. Sit, we saved you some eggs." Saved me some eggs? In my own damn house? I just stood there, trying to wrap my head around it. What's going on?" Amanda's smile widened. "Babe, isn't it fun? My family moved in while you were away. Now we can all live together." I blinked. "Excuse me?" Amanda rolled her eyes like I was being dramatic. "Come on, don't be so serious. My parents' lease was up and they needed a place to stay, and you always say this house is too big for just the 2 of us." My stomach dropped. She wasn't joking. This wasn't some temporary visit. She had moved her entire family into my house without telling me. "Amanda, this is my house. You can't just move people in without asking me." Her dad, a balding man in a stained polo shirt, let out a fake laugh. "Our house now, buddy. That's how family works." "Buddy?" I wasn't his buddy. But before I could say anything, Amanda put her hands on her hips. "Geez, Nick, why are you acting so weird about this? We're going to be married. That means sharing. You wouldn't want my family to be homeless, would you?" Her mom chimed in, shaking her head dramatically. "Amanda told us you were such a generous man, but I guess she was wrong." I clenched my jaw. Because now I saw what was happening. This wasn't just a temporary favor. They had no plans to leave, and worse, they expected me to just accept it. I walked into the living room, hoping for a moment to process. But then I saw my gaming setup, or what was left of it. My PS5 and 2 monitors were missing. I turned around. "Where's my stuff?" Amanda's brother Jason waved from the couch, controller in hand. "Oh yeah, I moved it to my room. Your TV's way better than mine." "My room? Your room?" He grinned, pointing upstairs. "Yeah, Amanda said I could take the guest room. It's sick, man. Oh, and I took your chair too. Mine sucked." I turned to Amanda, waiting for her to correct him. She just shrugged. "Babe, you don't even use the guest room. Why does it matter?" I stared at her. She was serious. Her freeloader brother had just stolen my stuff, and she didn't care. "Amanda, this isn't just about the guest room. You let your family take over my house without asking me." She rolled her eyes. "Oh my God, Nick, can you stop being so dramatic? You're acting like this is a big deal." I took a deep breath, because at this point, I had 2 choices. Argue, fight, try to make them see reason, or let them win. I chose option 2, because I had a much better idea. An hour later, I went outside to grab something from my car. Except, my car wasn't there. I stood there, staring at the empty driveway. Then I saw it, parked down the street. Because in my driveway sat Amanda's parents' 2 beat-up SUVs, blocking both spots. I turned around and walked back inside. "Amanda, where's my car?" She barely looked up from her phone. "Oh, my dad needed the driveway. He said you wouldn't mind parking on the street." I clenched my jaw. "I do mind." She sighed dramatically and rolled her eyes. "Geez, Nick, can you stop being so uptight? It's just a parking spot." I inhaled sharply, staring at her. She held eye contact like she genuinely didn't see the issue. That's when I realized she had already decided that I didn't matter. My house? Not mine anymore. My stuff? Community property. My comfort? Completely irrelevant. This wasn't a misunderstanding. This was intentional. That night, I sat down on the couch, flipping through channels, trying to ignore the fact that my house smelled like someone microwaved fish. That's when Jason, Amanda's brother, waltzed in. "Yo, move," I frowned. "What?" "Move over. I want to watch Netflix." I stared at him. You know there's a TV in the guest room, right? He huffed. Yeah, but your couch is way better. Come on, man. Just move. I looked at Amanda, expecting her to say something. She didn't even look up from her phone. That was it. That was the moment I was done. I stood up, grabbed the remote, and turned off the TV entirely. You know what? You can have the couch. Jason grinned like he won. Amanda smirked. See? Now you're being a team player. I smirked back. Because she had no idea. This wasn't me giving up. This was me letting them win. Because they were about to lose everything. I don't lose my temper easily. I'm the kind of guy who picks his battles. I let things go. I don't start fights over small stuff. But this was different. Amanda's family had been in my house for less than a week, and somehow they had convinced themselves that they ran the place. And then, they made one final mistake. I was halfway through my lunch break at work when I got the notification. $347 spent at an electronics store. I frowned. I hadn't bought anything. Then another charge popped up. $89 online gaming subscription. My stomach dropped. I opened my banking app and saw a string of transactions, all within the last 24 hours. $50 fast food. $120 sneakers. $347 electronics. $89 gaming. I scrolled down and saw a new name under the card's authorized users. Jason. I nearly crushed my phone in my hand. I got home early that day, slamming the door behind me. Jason was sprawled out on my couch, feet up, eating chips, wearing a brand new pair of sneakers. My sneakers. I walked straight up to him. Where's my credit card? He barely looked up, didn't even flinch. Oh, Amanda said it was cool. We needed a few things. I stared at him. You needed a few things? He shrugged, completely unfazed. Well, yeah, it's our house now, man. Family helps family, right? I turned to Amanda, who was sitting at the table, scrolling on her phone. You gave him my card? She looked up, completely unbothered. Ugh, Nick, why are you being so dramatic? He only borrowed it. I took a deep breath. Borrowed? He changed my account settings and added his name to my card. She rolled her eyes. So what? You make plenty of money. It's not a big deal. Not a big deal. Not a big deal. That was it. That was the moment I was done. I turned around, walked to my closet, and pulled out a suitcase. Amanda walked into the bedroom just as I started packing my things. What are you doing? I didn't answer. I just grabbed my clothes, my laptop, my essentials. She laughed. Babe, stop being ridiculous. Are you really this mad over some money? I zipped up the suitcase. Then, I smiled. You're right, Amanda. This isn't a big deal. She smirked like she won, until I grabbed my keys and walked to the front door. She followed me, still laughing like this was some kind of joke. Nick, come on, where are you going? I turned, smiling wider. Oh, I'm not going anywhere, Amanda. I gestured around the house. You are. Her smirk faded. What? I set down my suitcase, pulled out my phone, and opened an email from my lawyer. Then I showed her the document. This is an official eviction notice. Your family has 30 days to vacate the property. Since you're not on the deed or lease, you have no legal right to stay here. Her eyes went wide. You? You're joking. Nope. She snatched my phone, scanning the document. Her hands started shaking. Nick, this isn't fair. I crossed my arms. Fair? You thought you could just move people into my house, spend my money, and treat me like a guest? Amanda, this house was mine before you even met me. You thought you were settling in? No, you were just squatting. Her parents walked in, looking confused. Her mom, what's all the yelling about? I looked them dead in the eye. You have 30 days to get out. If you're still here after that, I'll have law enforcement remove you. Her dad scoffed. You can't do that. I smiled wider. Actually, I can. And I already did. I pulled out my phone again and showed them a second document. Meet your new landlord. I just sold the house this morning. The new owner wants everyone out by the end of the month. Amanda's jaw dropped. You sold the house? Yup. Enjoy your new home. I grabbed my suitcase, walked out, and didn't look back. I didn't stop walking until I was in my car, driving away from the chaos. Amanda and her family, they were still standing in the doorway of what used to be my house, frozen in shock, trying to process what just happened. But here's the thing, they had 30 days to figure it out. And I didn't give a damn. About an hour later, my phone buzzed. Amanda? I ignored it, then another text, then 5 more, then a voicemail. I let it go to transcript. Nick, what the hell is wrong with you? You can't just sell the house. Where are we supposed to go? Call me back. Now. A few minutes later, her mom called, then her dad, then her brother, then Amanda again. 43 missed calls. I smiled, turned off my phone, and went to get dinner. By the next morning, Amanda had gone from angry and demanding to full-on panic mode. Her texts went from, "You're an asshole, Nick," to, "Okay, let's just talk about this, please." Then, "Babe, I swear I didn't mean to upset you. Let's just work this out." Oh, now she wanted to work things out? Too bad. I was already watching her world collapse. Amanda had never paid a single bill in her life. She always assumed that, no matter what, there would be a safety net waiting for her. But now, the utilities were still under my name, but I wasn't paying them anymore. By the end of the week, water? Shut off. Electricity? Disconnected. Internet? Cancelled. And the new landlord? Not interested in negotiating. Amanda and her family had two choices: scramble to find a new place, stay put and get legally removed. Guess which one they chose? Neither. Because instead of actually doing something, Amanda spent the next 2 weeks calling and texting me, trying to guilt-trip me into fixing it for her. "Nick, please. We have nowhere to go. You don't have to do this. I loved you. Be a man and take responsibility." Responsibility? I didn't have a single ounce of responsibility left for her. I left her on red. By the third week, Amanda and her family had officially overstayed their welcome, and the new landlord was done with their nonsense. I got a text from an old neighbor. "Dude, your ex is outside screaming at some guy in a suit." I laughed, because I already knew who that guy was. The eviction notice had been served. Amanda and her family had 72 hours to leave, or the sheriff's department would escort them out. No electricity, no running water, no backup plan, and absolutely no Nick to save them. The night before the eviction deadline, my phone buzzed one last time. "Amanda." I let it go to voicemail. Then I played the transcript. "Nick, please. I know I messed up. I was stupid. I just thought we could be a real family, you know? I didn't mean to push you away. I don't know what to do. Please, just call me back. Just talk to me. I need you." I stared at my phone for a few seconds. Then, I deleted the message. Didn't reply, didn't engage, didn't give her a single damn thing. By the time Amanda realized she had nowhere left to go, it was too late. The 72-hour eviction deadline came and went. And then, the police showed up. I got a text from my old neighbor around 8 a.m. "Bro, the cops are here. Amanda is losing it." I grabbed my coffee, leaned back in my chair, and smiled. I didn't even have to be there to know exactly what was happening. Amanda and her family were being thrown out onto the street. Her dad, screaming about how this was illegal. It wasn't. Her mom, crying and demanding one more week. Not happening. Jason, standing there in his stolen sneakers looking confused. And Amanda, she was sobbing, begging the cops for a second chance. But here's the thing, there were no more chances. They had nowhere to go. No backup plan. No Nick to fix it for them. All their stuff piled on the sidewalk like trash. I couldn't have planned a better ending if I tried. A week later, I got another text from my neighbor. "Amanda's family is crashing in a cheap motel across town." A motel, from my house to a motel, that was her downgrade. And me, I was living my best life. I had bought a new place, a smaller, quieter apartment, just for me. No freeloaders, no entitled in-laws, no Amanda, just peace. One night my phone buzzed. "Amanda." "Nick, I don't know if you'll even read this, but I just wanted to say I'm sorry. I ruined everything. I see that now, and I wish I could take it all back." I stared at the message for a few seconds. Then, I deleted it. No reply. No closure, no second chances. She wanted a new life. Now, she had one, just not the one she was expecting. And me, I was already too far ahead to care.